Record button. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Take the Trip Foundation Volunteer Week. Today, we're going to be talking about our IT needs. Joining me on the call is our Director of Information Technology, Ken, and our special guest, Jubilee. So we are excited to have you here. Thank you so much for your interest in volunteering with us. We're going to start by just talking about our mission and our vision, and then some general needs for the foundation, and then I'll be turning it over to Ken to talk about specific IT needs that he needs. So Ken, if we can go to the next slide.
Yeah.
We know that some of you are familiar with Take the Trip Foundation. If you're not, we just kind of want to give you a brief history and embed our mission with you as well. On the screen, you have Sissy Carroll, who is just recently, unfortunately, passed from a long 8-year-long battle with cancer. Sissy and Sissy Strong, she is the former wife of Jason and Jackson, and they were gifted a trip by a very generous person that allowed her and her family to have some respite from her battle with cancer. When Sissy and Jackson, Jason, through this prolonged battle, decided to create a foundation to play it forward so that other families could have a respite trip like they were able to have as well. Through the course of it, we began to create our mission, vision, and the work that we've been doing. We've been in existence since early 2023. We have sent 2 families so far on all expense paid vacation. We are looking to send more families. We have a family upcoming in November to go down to Orlando. But all that we do really is to support families in this experience of taking the trip. But what we found recently, as a matter of fact, Ken was part of the discussion, is not only are we dealing with families and providing trips from our work, but we're also leaning into caregiver support and family support. And that includes mental health needs that families might have. So there's a wide spectrum of things that we're doing. But just kind of wanted to start with our trips and like build that up as part of our organizational mission and goals. But also we're expanding and really looking to build a community of folks that are willing and to donate their time, and that includes you. So we appreciate that. Ken, if we can go to the next slide. We do have a vision, and this is one of our families that you're taking a look. We want to send young families impacted by terminal illness on a memorable trip. We're taking, or at least a goal of ours is to send 50 families over a year so they can create those cherished memories. It's a big goal, but with your help, we really feel like that it's doable. Ken, can we go on to the next slide? So again, this is Sissy. I absolutely love this picture. This is Sissy and Jackson. As we explained, Sissy was dealing with a lung cancer diagnosis that she recently succumbed to, unfortunately. But Sissy was a tour de force, an amazing person, and she really inspired this great quote that I love. It says, "Take the trip, eat the cake, buy the shoes." As I highlighted before, the Carrolls were on a family trip together. They were really inspired by that trip to create the foundation. Ken, to the next slide, please. So volunteering with the foundation, right now we are 100% dependent on volunteers. I'm a volunteer, Ken is a volunteer, and we need more volunteers. And the time that you can make a commitment, it could be 1 to 2 hours. By the way, I apologize for not introducing myself. Sebastian Byers, Chief Operations Officer. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got Ken on the call, who's our Chief of IT. I'm going to turn it over to Ken real quick now, but I just wanted to say thank you. Any time that you can volunteer, whether it's 1 hour, whether it's 12 hours, whatever you can possibly spare us is super appreciated. We also very much appreciate and I know I've just recently worked with folks that were in the IT field, getting young persons of color into the IT field. I work with a cohort of 125 folks. So I know that you're out there, and I know that you've got incredible networks. And I also know that there's a lot of people like looking for work and looking to get experience as you continue to climb in the job sector. So we very much look at this as sort of like an internship or on-the-job experience that can really help contribute to your continued knowledge in the IT field. All right, Ken, I've talked enough. I want to bring you in here to talk about specific needs for the IT group.
Great, thanks a lot, Sebastian. Appreciate it. So within IT, we do need a lot of help. So currently we're looking for a Salesforce expert. So we're looking for administrators, developers, architects. We're using Salesforce as our primary tool for all CRM needs, and it's really more than a CRM need, really. So right now, we're using Salesforce for our volunteers. So if you want to volunteer and you apply to be a volunteer, we store that information within Salesforce. Within our application needs, if you are submitting your application for you to be considered for the experience, you're using that for using Salesforce for that as well. And we're also using Salesforce to handle all our experience, like planning our experiences. So as you know, we offer more than experience. I mean, it's more than the trips, really, right? So when somebody is going to, let's say, Orlando or Miami, whatnot, we're trying to build a robust tool within Salesforce that users can come in, internal users can come in, review application, approve application, and then be able to select an experience that the applicant wants, and the system should do everything for us for that. So there is a lot of need for Salesforce experts to join us. So if you are have some experience and want to be part of us, more than happy for you to be part of us. We're looking for marketing consultants as well. We're yet to decide on a tool that we're going to be using for broadcasting our messages and emails and stuff. So things like constant contact. Currently we're sending emails by WordPress, but we're looking at other tools like HubSpot and whatnot. So if you have some marketing experience and you have that experience and you want to be part of us, please come in. You don't have to just know constant contact. If you use other tools that other nonprofits have used, please come in. We're looking for leaders as well within the IT space. SEO engineers as well as website developers. We're looking for that. So we have our Shopify store right now for all of March and whatnot. We're still working on it, and there's definitely some customization that we need. So if you want to be part of this, if you have some experience in Shopify payments and whatnot, please come in, apply. We're more than happy to have you. And then last but not least, we are planning on multiple events like golf tournaments and whatnot. And there are thinking of maybe a tool out there that we can utilize for event planning, silent auctions and whatnot. So I'm sure there are off the shelf stuff that we can use, but since we're just starting out, we're looking for volunteers who have done this before and have some experience in tools like this that can come in and help us build this out for us. So this is just for now. There are other things in IT that we still that I'm not listed here, like within our admin side, our Microsoft our side of things, emails, email messaging, and whatnot. There are things that they're what we call unknown unknowns that we do not know yet. So if you have some experience within nonprofit, within the IT space, and you have some ideas, suggestions, and you might volunteer with us, please come in and do it. So those are what I listed so far. Let's see what we have. Yeah, okay. So you want to take it over, Sebastian, on this one?
Sure, I do. Ken, before we go on to other ways to support, we do have a special guest, Jubilee, and I just wanted to, if we can, Jubilee, you can unmute. But do you have any suggestions, or if no suggestions, any questions that you might have of kind of what either our IT needs or a little bit about the organization?
Yeah, okay. So first of all, thank you for this. I'm so excited to I'm actually moved, and just going through the slides, I'm now understanding more about this organization, and I really I would love to partner and just volunteer. And I was even thinking of sharing this with one of my friends. She's also an expert in IT, and pretty much I'm just going to forward this to her, and if she's interested, she can join and also maybe partner and support somewhere based out in Texas. Yeah, so since this is really the initial meeting that I'm joining, I just want to say that I'm interested to supporting as a Salesforce admin and maybe work and collaborate with Ken and whoever else might be doing this. And also, of course, just anything. Hoping we're going to be having more meetings, like a backlog sessions to kind of refine the requirements and just we just continue from where you guys have started or left. Yeah. So yeah.
No, that's an excellent follow-up question for sure. The idea of this week really is just to garner interest. It's for us to like make the recordings and just host those to come in, sort of like build up our cadre of volunteers and kind of explain the big buckets of what we're looking for, and then Ken's develop these very specific asks. I kind of look at this as like a first step, and then just like building up teams. Ken, I'm hoping will be and has the capacity to sort of like to spearhead the IT team and work with the volunteers that would be doing that work. And I know that he'll schedule some planning meetings if he's capable of doing that. And I'm there, and Jason, the CEO, is there to support as well. But super appreciate your willingness and your being moved and your willingness to work with Salesforce. I've worked with Salesforce in a couple of stops, and it's such a powerful tool. And I know that in our internal meetings, Ken really has been sort of showing us, and will continue as we deepen our understanding of how we can use Salesforce to really own a large amount of the information in the organization. But as Ken alluded to, we're definitely open to some ideas that work in nonprofit. I know, like I've mentioned project management, Asana, but there's just different like things that we need, and as Ken said, the unknowns as well. But definitely have a list looking to form, and appreciate you also reaching out to a colleague. The more folks that we can get in to me, that everyone can like share the load to do the work that needs to be done.
Yeah, thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Ken, let's talk about other ways to support. We sort of started with this. It is a volunteer position. To me, I know like I'm using this to continue to learn at a high level of management in a nonprofit. So it allows me to set aside a few hours per day, not only to do the work that we need to do with the foundation, but also to learn and to empower me. And either this, if we're able to, take this from volunteers to some more longer lasting and paid positions. If not, there's a chance for me to learn a little bit more, even though I've been in the nonprofit space for a minute. So volunteering is definitely a good way. I know the companies that I've worked with are always looking for folks that are competent, know and have the skills that they need, but also can sort of like show up with soft skills. But also are very active in their community. It really makes you jump off the page to have these volunteer experiences. Please spread the word. I know Jubilee said that she would reach out to a friend of hers as well.
Yes.
Spread the word around. Do it if it's via, just picking up a phone call or posting to your social channels. We really appreciate you sharing with folks that because you're the person who knows folks that are kind of in the field, and we would like to tap on that network to find volunteers. Share the TTF opportunities and ways that it might benefit the work. So to me, if you could take like a next step, not only share this deck, share the organization, but like as I've spoken to a little bit here, express how this might help for some IT development as you're thinking about this and your next steps. And then for folks, we keep saying this in every meeting, so this is applicable here, but we are also looking for ways to have financial support so we can continue to do the work, so we can develop into a full-time staff would be great. And we're looking for ways to do that. And of course, what we need are donations. Cash is a great way to donate. Stocks are also, so there's more than just ways of writing a check. Writing a check is great. It is often a one-time occurrence, and we appreciate anything that we can get. But there are some more long-term ways that you can support the organization, and those are some of the things that we talk about. Stocks. If you have vacation rentals or know people that might be interested in donating those rentals, we're always willing to reach out to those folks and find out how we can develop a relationship. As you heard Ken say, we have sent our families so far to Florida, but we're looking to send folks to wherever their dream location. And I should mention that it's families that are identifying their dream location. We ask them, where do you want to go? And someone might say Arizona. So if we know, or someone in Texas, as Jubilee knows somebody down the Rio Grande, here right along the border is gorgeous. But we need to make connections for places for our families to stay. So that is another way that you can sort of like donate that time, or at least connect us to those who might be property owners. And then attend events, as Ken alluded to in the last slide. We do have some events coming up. We're going to have a 5K in 2024. We are planning a gala as well in fall of 2024. In May 13th, we actually have a charity golf tournament that we're very heavily involved in planning. So we need some support to develop, of course, the IT around that. But we'd also love if you can to attend some of the events, these locations. Besides the 5K, we'll be in Charlotte. The golf tournament will be down in Myrtle. And I'm not quite sure where the gala will be. I have to imagine it's going to be in the greater Charlotte area. But we would love to have you actually in person to attend the events, to spread the love and really show off what you've done to help support us being able to put on these events. So Ken, I'll turn it back over to you. Are there any ways that you were thinking that we haven't listed here that folks could support the org?
I would say you've more or less mentioned most of it, and I'd say the key thing is really social media. I think if we are able to spread the word by social media, go to our page on Facebook, Instagram, again, commenting on LinkedIn and whatnot, it really gets the word out there. So the more people know about us, the more support we'll get. I mean, both in monetary support plus just volunteer as well. This is really more than just a trip, right? We are building a community amongst ourselves. We want to grow the community within us. So let's, if you have time, just go into Facebook, look us up on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and whatnot, and comment, like, and as well as YouTube. I think we're going to post video as well on YouTube. So yes, again, really need you all. Come on, all hands. Even if you just want to come in and learn, that's also you're welcome. We're gonna learn together and build a robust experience together. So thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, Ken, Jubilee asked in the chat if we have social media accounts. We do. We've got a Facebook page and Instagram, LinkedIn. I actually created a YouTube channel for us as well. So yeah, we're out there in socials, and I'll be sure. And that's a great suggestion to add those handles, by the way, to our presentation. I don't think we've got them here in a slide, but I'll create a slide with those socials. But in my follow-up email, I'll make sure to have linked all of those social channels. We actually just hired a director of social media. She'll be doing one of these volunteer sessions tomorrow. Her name's Andrea. She's fantastic. She, to Ken's point, like social media really does drive the word of mouth, which really gets folks in the door, not only for volunteers, but families as well. So we are putting extra concentration on our socials and our social media. And we're looking forward to Andrea really helping us drive that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Jubilee,
do you have existing like a link for donations, and like if let's say I post this on my WhatsApp status or my Facebook page or any, like, is it live? Is it operational already? Like at the moment, or you're yet to get to that, like the donation links, for instance?
It is live, yeah. So on our website, takethetrip.org or takethetripfoundation.org, there is a link or there is a button. You can click donate, and you're able to go in and donate from their website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually working on the website to make that even more prominent. But it is live, it does exist. And we're just trying to figure out different ways that are most effective, mirroring some other folks kind of in the space when we look at their websites, and there are other ways that we can give. We also we have dot cards, which I will look if folks ask to provide as well, but that has like a link to donate there, Ken, if I'm not mistaken. And then any materials we're going to send out are going to have a QR code on those. Any printed materials have a QR code, which will direct folks to the page where they can donate from there as well.
Good.
Ken's adding that information. This will be on the slide deck that we'll be sharing out with you, as well as a copy of the recording. I'll sort of begin to wrap us up as Ken and continues to work. So we've got all the information. Jubilee, thank you for that question, by the way. It's a great prompt for us to make sure that we get that up in ways that folks can donate. Just wanted to thank Jubilee and Ken for their time today to discuss Take the Trip Foundation, as well as some of our IT needs. We're super excited to work with you. We're very, very flexible and very happy and delighted that you're considering you're volunteering your time with us. It's a big need. It's a fantastic cause and a fantastic foundation organization. And I know together that we're going to do really good work. Ken, I'll let you, if you've got any last remarks before we conclude our recording today.
No, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you all watching this eventually, and come be with us at the people. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Jubilee.